So in this vlog, we're actually going to talk more about what we use for Patreon and what we use for our files, because you guys have been asking for some time now. So today's video is going to be more dedicated to actually answering those questions. We're going to do some type of hybrid where you guys are seeing the screen and I'm filming here in today's video to really go into that. And then we'll get back to our regular vlogs in the upcoming week. As you guys can see, this one is actually a bit late. We're going to get into the specific ones we have, the Patreons we have, and explain why we chose them. They may work for you, they may not work for you, but I want to be very transparent and showcasing the reasons why we have the ones we have and go from there. For starters, all these Patreons and websites are going to be linked in the description box below if you guys want to hop on and get them for yourself. But we're going to start off with Zal 3D. Zal 3D is a great one for a lot of fidget toys that are going to be able to be in your hands. It's a lot of things that we do for our fidget toys that go into our pocket peeps, what we have at our markets, where people can dig their hands in and grab a couple little peeps there to go from there. We also have dragons that we can get from them. It's not something they do often. It's mostly, everything that we get from Zal 3D is always going to be fidget toys that we can put as our pocket piece. Like we have the new baby beavers that just came out. As a matter of fact, I'm going to actually download this right now because we actually need those too, as well as the Zal mini dragons, different color ones there. Really cool ones to have. And let's just go through a couple of the things they have. Very well organized, very well established here on Patreon. I'm gonna show you all the Patreon stuff first, and then we'll get into the last one, which has an abundance of things too. Usually they have 2 or 3 models that come out for the month, every month on these. It's $10 for the membership. Most of these Patreons are average about $10 a month, so if you guys want to go support them, all I do and all I ask is that you say the Family Print Project sent you their way, and that's it. We have these tiny Valentine's teddy bears. Everything's organized in a way and explains everything in detail on what to do to set up the model and get it done exactly what it needs to do, where you don't have any issues, or at least the least likely chance of any issues. They even do a breakdown of what colors they use, where they're getting it from, all transparent and on the page, as you guys can see it with me now, and everything like that. And it tells you the dates and stuff like that. So if you guys are wanting to do this, another thing is to keep in mind all these Patreons, most of them, not all of them, but most of them have it to where you only start at that tier month. So if you started now, you'll get everything for January, but you won't get everything prior to that. They'll give you a welcome package that gets you started with some prints to do, but you won't get anything previously because those are designated to the Patreon members that have been subscribed by each month. So we have been subscribed for the last year. A lot of ours have been subscribed for the last year. There's only 2 that we got. One was about 2-3 months ago. The other one was about a month ago. Tons of models. If you guys want to see, expect specifically what they have, go check out their Patreon. This is Zal 3D. Next is Cinderwing 3D, which is one of the most popular ones to subscribe to. Everybody mostly has it, so if you guys aren't familiar with it, get familiar with it. Mostly everybody has this one specifically for dragons. Dragons are a hot item that are overly abundant on Etsy and stuff like that. But if you are interested in doing that for markets and things like that, we're going to be targeting more market stuff right now in this video. It's a really good thing to have on hand for your markets as dragons. And another thing too that we utilize the most on here is the mystery dragon eggs that she has available to print on here. Another thing that I didn't mention earlier is that if you do have a certain file that you don't have access to, you always have the option to buy that file and have the rights to do it, because each one of these have the commercial rights to be able to sell them. Just make sure you make it very well known, very well apparent that you are in collaboration with them and you don't misuse their capabilities. Do not sell the files. If you didn't know, don't sell the files. Can't do that, but you can sell the physical product, which is what we do. And we're very by the books. We only sell the products that I've either designed myself or that we have permission to sell. I don't do anything else. I won't do anything else. The only thing that I will do is rent out print time for people who own files that they just want to use our printer. Their new one is the Crystal Dragon 2025. This is what it looks like right here. They got some mega things going on with the different types of dragons they have available. So this is just a little idea of what you could be seeing if you decide to sign up with Cinderwing. You also have tiny butterfly dragons, which is what we are going to eventually be printing as well. We need to order some more filament. They have skunks right here too. This is another one I wanted to do. It's just probably going to be the thing we can do, except for the red's going to be pink. So if you want more insight on that, just go subscribe. It's super simple. Go to Patreon, come over to the memberships, but for you guys, it'll be already there. But this tells you everything when you go to memberships on each one of the things, what the breakdown is. And it tells you everything's transparent. It has a Discord for you to join the community of different people who have that specific stuff set up. And it tells you what you get with the commercial license here and things like that. It gets you early access, connect, everything. You get the seller's badge too that you have to kind of get in there as well. And then that's pretty much wraps up Cinderwing. Like I said, if you guys want more of this stuff in detail, just go check out the page and you can check out some of the images right here, as you guys can see. If you want to learn about her, she gives a whole detailed breakdown of what she does, why she's doing it, and things like that. It's really good to kind of bounce off each other. And something that a lot of people in the 3D printing community that I've seen too, it's getting better, people are understanding a lot more, is some people specifically like to do just the designs. They don't like to sell the physical product. Some people, like myself, I like to sell the physical products because we like to interact with people, mainly me. Amanda doesn't like to interact too crazy much, but she's definitely warming up to it. She definitely likes it, especially seeing the results of all the happiness that our products that we're printing are producing for the people. As you guys see, there is 10,879 members, and if you put that $10 a piece, as you guys can know, if you do the math, that's about $108,000 a month for her making designs. So she's got a full thing on her plate of being able to dedicate time to making these files, which is really cool that there is that opportunity to create files like that and do something like that for a community where that's all her focus is creating new designs, adding new things, and allowing other people to print and stuff like that. And that just gives you an idea. If you guys are watching this video and you're curious to know if you should print or if you should design, here's a good look and good understanding of how it is. But there's plenty of other 3D printing places too that are on here. It just depends on what you guys want to have at your markets and what you guys want to showcase for what you do. Maybe it's more along the lines of a certain niche that you want to do. Maybe you're a book reader or something like that and you want to do more books, which we'll get into that in a little bit. All right, so we wanted also more variety to our pocket peeps to allow ourselves to have just a diverse thing, really diverse amount of stuff. So we also got Snap Print 3D. This creator is newer, on the newer side. As you guys can see, they have 766 paid members. If we can help Snap Print 3D up to 800 just from the Family Print Project alone, that would be absolutely fantastic. So if you guys want to look at more fidget toys and more things like that, as you guys can see, they have quite a variety of things to look into. Everything is, they have a collection pack, and the way this one works is it comes in a current monthly thing. So we'll actually go ahead and click this so you guys can see what it looks like. So here's the current month download link. You click that and you'll have the option to pick and choose which ones you want. I highly recommend just downloading them all because you never know. It's better to just have them ready to go and to dabble in it into a folder rather than having to try to remember. So that's a little helpful tip for you guys if you're wanting to do that. Make sure you guys download all of them for that month so you're ready to go. Give you guys a little example of some of the fidget toys that they have. We actually printed some of these. Where are they at? We actually printed some of these that are going to be in the markets, which you guys have seen on the channel from last week's video. But this is where we get some of those stuff. Really cute items here. Really cool fidget toys. A lot of these things are no supports. I highly recommend. If you don't want to dabble in supports and that's something you just don't want to look into, look for designers that specifically do designs that don't have supports. So now we're going to get into Crafty Kid 3D, which is the newest addition to our Patreons that we pay for on a monthly basis. So this one is more targeted for book readers and dice towers, things like that, which we've got these trains that we have here. We have, you know, planters. Spring is around the corner, so now's a good time to get the idea to do planters. Here's a book display that you guys can print from this designer. Really cool way. If you're an avid book reader, whether you do it for yourself or if you do it for other people, this would be more of a recommended one to kind of go with. And here's another one too, it's like a death grasp book display holder right there. So definitely some options here. This one you get access to all of them. So this is one that you do get every single one of the files. So far that we've seen is we've gotten every single one. We've been printing out some of these book nooks and getting them ready because we want to do some bigger high-end items. Right here is the one of them that we have going, which you guys have also seen from last week's video. If you haven't seen last week's video, I highly recommend checking it out. Okay, And yes, so let's say none of those you like, none of those interest you, none of those seem to be the way you want to go. It's a super simple thing to kind of just explore, is to go over here, type it in, 3D printing designers. And you'll get a whole slew of different 3D printing designers that may target more to what you're doing. Maybe you're someone that wants to sell Pokemon stuff. That's totally up to you. That's, you know, that's something that's available for you to do on here, is to look up people that do artistic version of these Pokemon, things like that. That's not something we will be doing, but the option is here on Patreon. You can just take your time, look. There's a ton of creators. There's a ton that definitely would need some help growing. Some people just started. And if you are one of the people that just started, please send us an inbox over on Instagram or send us an email. We would definitely love to see what you guys have and be able to help you grow on your adventure with being a designer. We are still looking for an in-house designer as of right now to be able to design some in-house products for us that are specifically that, but you are also able to do your own Patreon, but the in-house design is going to be specifically for what we provide. So if you are interested in doing that, I would definitely love to talk with you and help you grow with that too. Same thing, inbox us or send us an email. I've got my eyesights on some other ones here, like the light speed, which is a lot of those mostly going to be for Christmas time, but we're still holding it off because we do have quite a bit. I mean, if you add that up, 10, 20, 30, 40 bucks right there a month on 3D files. So that's what we're looking at right now on a monthly thing that we're paying every single month, is 40 bucks a month on Patreon. They do have an option to save some money if you want to do yearly, which that's the next step. What we're going to be doing is a yearly, so it makes it easier, so we can keep it going and spend a little bit less, but have everything taken care of for the whole year. So if you guys are able to do that, highly recommend doing the yearly. So it's done, one and done basically for each year, and then it'll repeat that following year. But yeah, I mean, this is super solid, super cool. Like I said, these aren't the only options. There's, as you guys can see, there's plenty of other options for 3D print designers. Take a look, browse around, and make your decision on what best suits what your needs are. The STLFLIX, which is basically the Netflix of 3D printing. That's what they market it as. That's what I'm saying it's as. But we're gonna access the library, and let's just say there's a whole slew of stuff that constantly comes out. Variety. I will say some of the stuff here is either stuff you're gonna have to additionally put together. It's a lot more physical labor, as you guys can see here. This is a mimic clock, and you have to put some pieces together, which is very cool, very unique, but you know, I'll leave it up to you guys to decide if you guys want to do handy stuff. But there is a ton of options, a variety of different things, a variety of different possibilities, and they have a breakdown of each thing here, and you get access to everything when you sign up with STLFLIX. Everything. I believe we paid like 200 bucks, 179 when this came out, and we paid for the whole year to get it knocked out and done out of the way. But here's where we got our bear right there, and they have, like I said, a multitude of different things to do here. They also have resin designs as well, which we will be getting to when we get a resin printer, hopefully this year, fingers crossed. That's the plan. We would like to collaborate with a resin printing business. So if you guys are a resin printing business and you guys are checking it out, definitely let us know. Other than that, we do have one in mind that we're going to be saving up for. It's part of Elgu's line of resin printers. We really like their design and also what it is, but we're also holding hope that one day Bambu will also jump on the resin printing thing and change the game for them. We'll see, but that's also another reason why we've been holding off, is that. Plus, we're trying to get more 3D printers. So, still working on getting the A1. But yeah, there's a multitude of things here, and I mean, they also have it to where you can do an STLFLIX store, which you can sell your physical products, and it's kind of categorized with all of the STLFLIX, so you get a little boost here on doing that on the My Store. We haven't dabbled into it anything, but it's definitely an option we might look into. Obviously, you can't put files that are other people's stuff that's not from STLFLIX. It's definitely only STLFLIX stuff, so keep that in mind there. But they have a very cool amount of stuff, a very diverse amount of stuff. There are also a lot of stuff that I don't see myself printing. I don't see myself printing a Dalmatian kit card, but maybe that's something you specialize in. It's all up to you. If you want variety, STLFLIX is gonna be the way to go because they have a ton of stuff. Like this blooming promise ring box. Like, how cool is that? That's great. It's Valentine's coming up. Perfect time to do that. Teddy's Toast wine holders, something I'm working on getting, something I'm working on doing, and we already have this done, several of these done. So it's just optional stuff. Now keep in mind too, when these products come out, think of them and plan them to have it for the next following year, because at least, well, unless you want to put the old stuff, then you can print that stuff right away. But a lot of the stuff that we're getting that we want to print are coming out way too fast, way too least of time. With the amount of printers we don't have the amount of time to print everything we want from each category that's just now being released. So keep that in mind. If you're starting out, don't have a lot of printers, and you may be fortunate enough that they're in that season, they have a lot of stuff already ready to go because they're several years in, so you have options. But if it's something to keep in mind is if there's prints that you want to do, think already ahead that they may not sell right now or they may not be finished in time for this season. Keep them and then have them for next season. But that pretty much wraps up everything that we have on Patreon and the STLFLIX here. They have a whole slew of stuff. I mean, let's also take a look at the resin stuff real quick. And they have categorized. You can do art, you can do gadgets, hobby, DIY, household, miniatures, things like that. And it's very easily broken down. Here are all the resin stuff, and they even have the category here for those who like to do resin printing. And like I said, this is something that we definitely want to get into. It's definitely going to be a lot more time consuming eventually because we're going to have to paint them too. That's something I'm going to be looking into doing as well. But a lot of these things are extremely detailed. So be on the lookout for that. And I'm not going to take too much more of your time. That's going to wrap up for today's video. If you found this video helpful, please do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button and leave your comments down below. Leave your questions, and if there's something that I missed or something, please leave them down below, and I would definitely love to help you out. And next week's video, which will only be a couple days, come out in a couple days from this one because this one's being uploaded late by a full 24 hours. So thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I'll catch you all in the next video.